We are ready, folks, to break what is, I believe, at least a 50-year run of one-party rule in this city. And I'm here to say tonight, so you all can hear me clearly, I'm here, I'm running, and I want to be your next mayor.
You've been hearing that in the news this morning. That's another Lower Mainland city off and running in a campaign for next year's municipal elections. Clearly, there is a ramped up interest in local politics right now, I think. So that was New Westminster City Councillor Daniel Fontaine announcing that he is running for mayor, and he joins us now to talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning, Simi.
You're a year away. Why so early? Why jumping in now?
Well, it is a long process. We are in the process of electing or nominating about 14 candidates, and the mayoral candidate is the first. And the NWP has now to select another 13, and there's a lot of funds that need to be raised, a lot of volunteers need to be organized, and it does take a long time to get things get things going. And the public are telling us that they want us to make sure we're fully prepared and that we remove Community First from office next year.
Now, we're seeing this in a number of different cities around Metro Vancouver where the races already seem to be heating up. Daniel, what do you think are the issues out there? Why so much engagement?
There is a lot. I've been following civic politics, Simi, for literally decades. I have never seen this level of interest in municipal politics in all the time I've been watching it. So I think part of it is there has been such a heightened awareness around what's been happening, for example, at Metro Vancouver. All the stories around mayors making, nearly $400,000 in annual salary, gift card scandals. I mean, it goes on and on. There's been a really heightened media awareness around municipal politics. And secondly, we're looking at, for example, in a place like New Westminster, where in 4 years, we will have almost raised our property taxes by 30% in this term of office. And the public are saying, this is where the rubber meets the road, is at their city, and they're saying enough is enough. And whether it's Surrey or Richmond or New Westminster, you're just seeing a heightened level of interest because people know that the decisions that are made at City Hall have direct impact on them and on their wallet every single week. And I think that's why there's such a high level of interest this election.
Now, there's also been a lot of coverage of your announcement, like on Global. We were hearing it on the news this morning. And one of the things you said that I thought was interesting was where you said the public wants more bylaw officers. And I thought, do they? Because that could potentially mean the public getting more tickets.
Well, look, Sammy, I know it could be a double-edged sword when you have more bylaw officers, but I'll tell you that I get no shortage of emails from the public who say that there are issues on our streets that are not being enforced. We don't have the bylaw officers. And my point last night was to say that we don't need managers who are managing consultants. We have too many of those. And the public is saying they want us to get back to core services. They want to make sure there's park rangers, there's street cleaners, there's people who are actually providing services to the public. And when they call City Hall and they have an issue that they need a bylaw officer for, they're questioning why we have, for example, 8 full-time people working in our climate action department, and they can't get a bylaw officer to come in because there's an issue that needs to be enforced in their neighborhood. And those are the kind of things we need to reorient, and I think those are the kind of things that we'll need to deal with over the next 12 months as the campaign kicks off. But that's the point that I was trying to make.
Okay, and what do you think are the big issues in New Westminster? Like, what are people telling you?
Well, number one is consultation. Then doesn't matter what neighborhood I go into, Sapperton, the West End, Queensborough, people are saying that they're not feeling like they're being heard, that engagement is performative, that it's a checkbox for consultation. So number one, people want to be heard and they want to have their say in terms of how they're shaping their neighborhood. Secondly, the issue of public disorder and crime, in particular in the downtown, which has been hit really hard. Our downtown is incredible. We have a beautiful city. We have tons of potential. But if you have people who are afraid to be out on the streets in the evening, that's not going to be helping economic development. So I hear that oftentimes that we need to make sure that we have people feeling safe and that we can help generate that economic activity again downtown. And lastly, as I said, taxation and the cost of City Hall. And when you're looking at property tax increases of 30% in 4 years, we have climate action taxes on people's electrical utility bills of 3.5%, which we need to remove. Those are the kind of key issues, bread and butter, core issues, along with the fact, Simi, I heard last night, and I spoke about it, around a lack of infrastructure in this city. We have like only 2 skating rinks for 95,000 people, 1 high school for 95,000 people. We have roads that are in need of repair, sidewalks that are cracked. That's the kind of stuff that I'm going to get excited about, and that's the kind of stuff I'm going to focus on as mayor.
It really, that high school thing, that's so true because there's always only ever been 1 high school in New Westminster. How has that not changed over the years?
Simi, I live not far from the high school, and I will tell you, it is just sad to see it. I mean, 2,600 students are put into 1 high school, and I've been advocating to have a second high school in Queensborough and to be able to relieve some of the pressure. But hard to believe that if you went outside of the Lower Mainland in a city of 95,000 people, that it would be acceptable to have 1 high school. I mean, it's just really ridiculous. And so the province needs to move forward on that. And that's the thing that I will advocate for. I'm not connected with the provincial government or federal government. I don't have party memberships in any of those parties. I will advocate for those new schools, and I'm going to feel free to speak out like I have on Metro Vancouver and other issues on behalf of the people in New Westminster. And we will get that second school built in Queensborough, and we'll relieve the pressure on New West Secondary here on the mainland.
Oh boy, this next year is going to be so interesting. Daniel, thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, thanks for having me on, Simi.
That's Daniel Fontaine. You've heard him many times on the news, New Westminster City Councillor. Last night, throwing his hat into the ring to be the next mayor of New Westminster, again, 1 year before municipal elections. And we've seen that this week as well, right? We saw Linda Annis running for mayor in Surrey and making that announcement. You hear those ads already running right here on 730 CKNW. So I do agree with what he had to say in terms of, I think people are more engaged right now in the municipal level of politics. Are you paying more attention to who is your mayor, who is running? Are you really want to make sure that you vote next year in the municipal election? Because traditionally turnout has hovered between 30 and 35% of registered voters, which is just so sad, right? That's a terrible turnout. And so, yeah, I'm going to be watching this too. Let's hear from you on that. Simi at cknw.com.